Hey you guys, it's Brit. Tonight we're here to react to a video that Steph did recently. She had a whole lot to say as always and posted this little tantrum for her members that are paying for this content, and this is the kind of stuff that she posts for people that are paying. And of course we know that her paid members are simply people that are just curious. They're not, there might be a few of them that truly support her, but for the most part it's people that are simply curious. But we're going to go over what she had to say. This video is about 10 minutes long, so we're going to start at the top. If you're interested, please keep watching. Alright you guys, so before we get into the reaction, I want you all to sound out down below. When it comes to paying a content creator for videos and perks of like, oh here, I'm paying you $3 a month or whatever it might be, what is your expectation? If you do pay for someone's content, kind of what's the expectation and what satisfies you feeling like, okay, my $3 or $5 a month actually makes sense? Like what kind of different access do you kind of expect? I'm really curious about that because I've never opened up membership on my YouTube or Instagram or anything like that. So I can't really say what it looks like from a content creator standpoint. So I want to know from y'all kind of what do you expect? Me personally, what's worked for years on my channel is I just post my content, and those who want to watch it can watch it, those who don't. And if you're busy and you watch it later that day or tomorrow or next week, then I'm good with that. I never felt like I had a good blueprint as to say, okay, this is what I feel okay charging people for. It just hasn't come to me, and so I say keep it fair. I don't want to feel like certain people are favorites or whatever. Y'all get the same stuff. It's always posted at the same time for everybody, but I am really curious about that because if you're charging people but you're posting stuff like what Steph posts, I don't understand how you can even feel remotely good about that.
So I started talking about this in my YouTube live the other day, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth with it for my subscribers. People keep asking me, like, why would you believe Drew in that side piece thing is not real? I keep trying to say Drew and I have more to our relationship, more about each other than people give credit. Like, I know that man better than anybody. And people who want to say like, well, I dated him in the past or I made a baby with him in the past. Y'all, that was his past stuff.
You actually think that someone you've known for 3 to 4 years, just because you've popped out a couple kids with them, you think you know them better than people that have literally known him for 35 years? People that have known him for 10, 15, 18 years? The self-importance is just so strange. Steph, you do not matter. You have popped out some children with Drew, but you are also just as disposable as everybody else is in his eyes. You are not special. And I don't know when you're going to get the message or if you ever will, but you are not special. And as a reminder, you are still legally married to an SO.
Like, people change. That was some 12, 13 years ago. You're talking about this person. I know this man for the person he is for the past 3 going on 4 years. And
so the person he is now, as in the lazy bum, you've also shown us that, Drew, and we see him for who he is. Things have not gone in your favor, and that's why you're constantly feeling the need to jump on video and post these rants. If you constantly have to come on social media and defend your oh so great relationship, that might be a time for reflection, because I don't know who you're trying to convince. It sounds like you're trying to convince yourself, but you're claiming that you're trying to tell social media the truth, the facts.
Now, for the man who's continually trying to change and better himself for his family. Mind you, I really do believe the autism thing is a definite for Drew, okay? There's way too many things that point to that being most definite for him. And people want to be like, well, you can't self-diagnose and you can't. I love it when people want to say that about people. Don't let people discredit what you know about yourself. You're yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate it when people say that. I've known myself for 30 years. Drew's known himself for 35 years. I've known the man for 3 going on 4 years. Watched his everyday routine. Whew. Watched everything about this man. And I'm a very analytical person. I have my insecurities. There's just like not shit that he does that gets past me because I'm just that way. But anyways, I'm not going to say that there wasn't a piece of me that like kind of questioned, oh, could this be a possibility? Because like I said, I have insecurities. I am an insecure girl. I've had nothing but people like test my trust issues. So
yes, you're also insecure because in the back of your mind, I don't think that you're fully stupid. I think that you're partially stupid. And in the back of your mind, you know that you are disposable. Because anyone who can watch a pattern of how somebody treats their partners and think that they're not going to do that same thing to you, I think that you know that it is a possibility. And you wouldn't have to be jumping online, defending your relationship all the time and telling people how you have location on and all of this kind of stuff. That's what I said in my other video. In my experience, if you feel like you have to keep location on your partner because you're second guessing what they're doing when they're outside the house, that is a huge red flag. And that is not a flex, and it's not something that you should be coming to the internet telling people multiple times how that's the best decision. That's a really sad decision if you feel like you have to tail your partner like that.
I really don't trust many people in my life, if anybody at all. So yeah, there was a piece of me that was like, I'm gonna go digging around in this account and figure it out. That's why y'all see me in them comments. But when I looked at it and realized, like, this doesn't even sound like him. This sounds like somebody who's trying to set him up to look bad. Trying to, like...
Girl, you are in so much denial. They've already confirmed that it was Drew's phone number. It was his phone number. You might as well just stop addressing this. Let it go. Don't ever address it again. Because if you're going to be willing to sit here and stand next to him and continue to defend him, you're only going to give people more ammo to continue to say you're just an idiot. You're defending a terrible, lazy grifter. But then again, Steph is also an equal, so she probably doesn't want to identify issues with him that she also has herself.
Just pull one other piece of something to be like, let's make Drew and Stephanie look terrible. Let's make their relationship look illegitimate. Look like they shouldn't work it out. But
nobody has to try. She set up a trap and Drew fell into it. And then she told everybody how he fell into it. And we had a conversation about it and laughed at how stupid Drew is. And we've all moved on. But you continue to talk about it because you know that that was him.
It stings me because it's like I said, that's just not even the way Drew speaks. There's more to it, man. I hate that it seems like Drew and I were just talking about this too. It's weird for me because I can speak all this off the camera, talk to him, and it just seems like turning the camera on, all sense of what I was going to speak about is gone, and it pisses me off because I'm just that freaking awkward. But
well, here's a side note, Steph. I don't usually like to give people like you any kind of advice, but if you are labeling yourself as a content creator and you have things that you really want to say to the camera and your memory isn't working or whatever is going on to cause you to have this sudden memory loss and you call it awkward, even though I think it's much deeper than just being awkward, then why don't you take notes. Later in this video, she says how she can take her social media success on her own. Ma'am, is the success in the car with you? Because I don't see any kind of success happening. I see you broadcasting your train wreck of a life, people giving commentary on it and being interested in the train wreck. Nobody is interested in you as a person because you have chosen to make your mess of a life and your toxic relationship your content. And that's the problem. Once you make your own drama your channel's content and people are interested in that, good luck having them be interested in anything outside of that.
I got me on my hub. Howie fucking Mandel. There's some dude logo Howie Mandel in front of me.
What is she doing, dude? What is wrong with her?
Anyways. But I spoke about this a little bit in my life, like I was saying. I always have Drew's location on whenever he's gone. If I want to call him, whenever the fuck, I'm going to call him. I want to ask him, please, can you come home? He's going to come home. Even when he's at work at Safeway, which, I mean, it's not like I'm the type of person to just be like, you need to come home, you need to come home all the time. But if I wanted to, I would. I will go through his phone at any point if I wanted to.
So y'all are living in a shelter and he is allegedly working at Safeway and you want to broadcast your power so much that you're saying you could call him at work and have him come home. Y'all are literally homeless. And you are talking about, oh, well, I've got so much power over him. I can tell him to come home anytime. What are you doing? I've ranted about the location thing in detail. But if you are in a position where you feel like you have to have that location on, as a really obvious kind of fact, if somebody wants to be unfaithful, they're going to be unfaithful. You tracking their location and claiming that they'll come home when you request or whatever is not going to change anything. People are going to do what they want to do. That's just the fact of the matter.
Like, he knows I'm just that type of person, and he trips on things too. Like, if he's at the store for too long, he's waiting in line for too long, he'll be like, okay, he'll call me and be like, babe, it's taking a little bit longer because this and this. He just knows, hey, this is taking too long, she's probably tripping. Like, you think that sounds like a guy who's trying to do stuff behind my back when he's constantly trying to make sure I know he's not? If that makes sense. And when I do say something, he's going to be like, here's all the evidence.
That would suck to be in the line at the grocery store and realize that, you know, there's more customers than you thought, or someone's having an issue with checkout, to feel like, oh, I need to text my partner or my spouse and let them know that it's going to be taken or that it's going to take an extra 7 minutes, or it's going to take an extra 12 minutes. The side chick did say that Steph really has a lot of control, and that is one thing that I really do believe, and I'm not here to take Drew's side at all. This is far too much control in any kind of relationship. If you feel like you need to hold hands and track locations and dig through someone's phone, it's an unhealthy relationship. Point blank, period.
I'm not. Because, like I said, I've had my insecurities, so I bring things up. And then there's another thing. People always say, okay, well, you should leave him, and why wouldn't you have more respect for yourself, and this and this, and like, you always put it back on the woman if a man is doing something like that. And I've already told Drew, and he knows this too. No,
nobody's putting it back on the woman. What people have said, because you've mentioned it as well, is, okay, you've said that you're not, you've thrown it out there that you might leave this relationship. What people are saying is have a little bit more dignity and respect for you and your children. That's not pointing the finger at the woman. That's just saying, have some respect for yourself. Show your children that this is not what I'm going to accept as our reality. She doesn't want to work, she doesn't want to do anything, and she's very content living at the shelter.
If he was to do some sideways crap like that, especially now with everything we've been through and everything I put up with, like, let's be honest, if I was just like, bye, I could drop all the drama that has to do with his exes and move on with my social media success, if that makes sense. And I'm like, still putting up with that.
Her social media success. And you're talking about the drama with the exes. Honestly, I'm not really very focused on them at all. I'm focused on the things that you and Drew are doing, the things that you and Drew are publishing, saying, and just behaving like two of the most pathetic parents that I've ever come across on social media.
Because Drew and I have a solid relationship. We have a lot of love and a lot of stuff to build off of. So why would I?
She knows that he's a cheater, and that's where all of these insecurities come from. And that's why she also mentions, oh, all the stuff that I've put up with, all the things that I've tolerated, so on and so forth. Drew is a cheater. And she is, obviously going to defend him until she's blue in the face, because she is in denial of what a terrible person she's showing herself to be by tolerating this and blasting it on social media.
I'd just be staying with him, and you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me sometimes that people still question.
Because it's comfortable, and you are very comfortable in the shelter. You know that you don't want to go live with your mom again because you've drug her all through the mud. You don't have the steady income to qualify for housing on your own. And it's, very comfy. You've become very, very comfy, cozy in the shelter, and that's why you're not leaving. It has nothing to do with y'all having this great relationship. Like I said in a recent video, may this never find me. May this life and this relationship dynamic never find me. Because it is so blatantly unhealthy, and the fact that she's showing this as an example to her young daughters is extremely problematic.
Drew and I as a couple, and like, why y'all still putting up with each other? And like, because there's obviously a lot of love in this family. And people question it for what? Because so many people out there want to put sideways ass opinions out. All I gotta say is the truth will keep coming out. I never wanted to be the one that was just spewing drama out on my account, but the truth will keep coming out. I have faith in my man, and I just want to build more of our lives together. We have so many goals.
She always says that the truth will come out. Oh, the truth is going to come out. The truth is going to come out. And yes, she is right. The truth does continue to come out, and it's never in their favor.
We're this close to just being in a house that would actually be decent for our family. And
we keep hearing how they're this close to having a house, this close to securing housing. We have heard that. And we're going on 6 months in the shelter now. And no motivation, no changes, just adding more stuff into the shelter, getting your storage unit auctioned off. Soon, Drew's car is going to be repossessed, and he owes a mountain of child support.
I feel like that would just be all the sense of relief that our family could ever get. Right now, I think that's what's causing so much tension in our families, that we all need a little space. You know? Who wouldn't understand that? None of the lies and all the bullcrappery that weird ass word. None of the lies and all the bullcrap that's out there is what makes us a family. I hope that kind of clears up a little bit more about like just why I got faith in my man. I know that it's hard for me because it's not like I'm an overly affectionate person. But I do appreciate connection and communicating a lot. But when Drew is on this like grind mode of just like a goal with the family, he is stuck in it. He's stuck in this mindset of just whatever his next move is. He's got to be doing the gig work for this many hours, and then his next move is to come home and make dinner, and then his next move is to clean up, and then his next move is to take a 2-hour nap. And he's got like a whole routine and setup and mind frame, and trying to get in there and be like, hey babe, let's talk for a little bit. Or, you know, I don't fault him for it, because that's just him trying to provide for his family and trying to grind and go. And that's why I told y'all he had hit a burnout point before. He had a mental burnout point because...
Is he trying to change for his family, or is he changing because of everything that has happened in court? Because if he really wanted to change for his family, then this would have happened months ago. This would have happened a long time ago. Y'all wouldn't have ended up in the shelter. You would have managed your money properly and made sure that rent was paid so that y'all didn't end up in the shelter. You were making plenty of money on TikTok last fall. And look at where we are now. Still making money on TikTok, but we're in the shelter and no home plan in sight.
That's all I knew Drew as, was to go, 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 go. When we first got together, he was like, you don't need to do the whole working and being a mom thing. Like, I can see you really just want to be home with your kids. You can stay home and I'll work. But we didn't anticipate the economy was going to flip when it did, just when he started being the only working parent in the household and I was at home. Then we had Atlas. You know, there's...
What is she talking about the economy for? What is she talking about the economy for? Because let's talk about that. Y'all had the 1-bedroom apartment. Actually, it was Drew's. It wasn't anything to do with Steph. He had that. She marched in there with her 2 kids. They decided to have their toddler. And you want to talk about the market flipping, and then you still decided to get pregnant when you had 4 children living with 2 adults in a 1-bedroom, disgustingly dirty apartment. And y'all still decided to reproduce. And just a few days ago, you said that this baby might be your last baby. So y'all still don't get it. And you're literally living in a fucking shelter, and you still don't get it. Nothing to do with the economy. In their situation, this has everything to do with mismanaging funds, not wanting to work, not wanting to be told what to do, wanting to capitalize on state resources and things that they can get because they have multiple children. It's a cycle of being entitled, but also being very lazy and wanting to sit on your ass all day and have things handed to you.
Just so much more to our story than people give credit. And it's not the story that everybody else has made up about us. It's our story, you know? You were there 12 years ago, not here. 3-4 years of our life, and the Drew that I know is the Drew you guys need to start to get to know. Please, just understand there's more that's going to come to light.
No, we don't want to get to know him. We know enough about him. We have seen exactly who Drew is through your content, through his content. She really gets hung up on this 3 to 4 year thing. Oh, I've known him 3 years. I've known him 3 to 4 years, blah, 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 blah. Do you realize that there are couples that have been married for 8, 16, 30, 33 years, and one of the spouses ends up unaliving the other one or doing something super insane and tragic, and the other spouse, how do you think that other spouse feels? They also thought that they knew their partner. They thought they knew their husband. They knew their wife. So the number of years has nothing to do with anything, really.
And it may not be Drew and I that like to speak on it, because we like to be the people that keep to our own lives and our truth. We just do our freaking selves.
So in other words, she's saying people that are not Drew and I are going to expose more truths about us, and we will have to respond to those once they're published.
But the amount of people that are putting the connections together and speaking, y'all are saving me. These songs you're making, mentally saving me. I can't not even thank you guys enough. Really, like we said, the truth would come out. And I can't wait to just, it's like, even in my videos, I'll be watching myself and be like, girl, this is just a glimpse of yourself. And I hope you guys can just hold on. Keep coming up through our glow up, because you're going to see a completely different side of Drew and myself. And it's the people we've been trying to show you guys that we truly are, you know? We want to do everything we can to provide for our kids and give them the best life that they can. Our kids don't just need housing. They need sports opportunities. They need vacation opportunities. Our kids deserve lives and memories just as much as any other babies out there. So
guess what? They do deserve all of that. And y'all couldn't even get up off your asses to take them to the, what was it, like the trampoline park or whatever it was? And that would have been very, very simple to get that done. Bare minimum. Let them do one fun thing this summer. And you want to talk about sports and housing and vacations and all of this kind of stuff? Why are you having children if you cannot give them the bare minimum? She really tries to put Drew on this pedestal of like, oh, he works and he cooks and he cleans and he helps us and we have little side conversations. Okay, if he's doing gig work and coming home and cooking and cleaning, what are you doing all day, Steph? What is it that you are doing if he's coming home and cooking and cleaning after doing gig work? Ma'am, you've said that you never leave the motel shelter. You're there all day, and what is it that you're doing with your day aside from mopping the walls with Pine Sol and Clorox? And as a side note, why are you wearing a winter jacket? It's late July, ma'am.
Yeah. Anyways, I just want to catch up with y'all, and it feels like it's been a minute, and I'm just now getting a minute to myself.
I'm just now getting a minute to myself. You don't work. What are you doing all day? You're obviously not, cooking and cleaning as often as you would like to portray if you're saying that Drew does all of that. You see, you talk yourself in circles, and I will say what I've said for years on this channel. If you're just honest, then your lies will not catch up with you. Just be truthful, and if it's something you don't want to talk about, then don't talk about it. But the lies will be exposed through your own content. It's so easy. But you literally want to talk about, oh, I just got a free minute? What are you doing? Sweeping gravels again?
I'm actually pretty nervous the baby's going to wake up at any minute and wake Drew up, and he just got off work. He's trying to sleep, so trying to do this as quick as I can, and I'm sorry if I'm coming off a little scatterbrained. Oh my god, she stutters and everything. At least I stutter and I don't scream into the camera. Just saying.
She's scatterbrained for a whole host of reasons. But she says that she's nervous the baby's going to wake up and Drew is in there sleeping. Obviously, the other children are in there as well. You have a toddler and 3 older children and a 6-month-old baby sleeping in a staying in a shelter room where Drew is sleeping. There are so many things that could go wrong. This video was 10.5 minutes. So let's just say that, give or take for 10 minutes, she was sitting in this car, not having any clue what was going on inside of that room. Do you know how many bad things could happen when you have 4 mobile children and an infant who is semi-mobile in a room by themselves when an adult is sleeping and another adult is in the car outside with the windows up? Those children could have opened that door. Those children could have started a fire. Those children could have gotten into things that they should not be getting into. There are so many bad things that can happen in a matter of moments when you don't have an alert adult watching all of these children. So again, you told on yourself, congrats, and I'm disgusted. But that's it for tonight. So if you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.